Hi everyone, welcome to all knowledge seekers, all around curious minds. This is Dr. Darshan SM. Welcome to my YouTube channel, the ultimate destination for a unique blend of education, entertainment, and inspiration. Hit the subscribe button and let's embark on this electrifying journey together. Join our community and be a part of something extraordinary. Isometric projection or isometric drawing allows the designer to draw an object in three dimensions. This type of drawing is often used by engineers and illustrators that specialize in technical drawing. With respect to the isometric projection is considered, today I will demonstrate on how exactly hemisphere will be placed centrally on the hexagonal prism. We select File, New, followed by there are three different types of module: part module, assembly module, and drawing module. We are going to select drawing module. Once this drawing module is selected, we are going to draw an hexagon of the dimension that is being specified. We go for sketch option. Once the sketch option is selected, we are going to use the polygon option, in which we are going to specify what is the number of sides. In this case it is six sides for hexagon, or maybe we can use the line option and we can draw an hexagon. Suppose if you know what is the angle between two sides, that is 120 degree. The polygon option is the best option, in which easily we can draw an hexagon. The size of this hexagon is 40 mm. Once this hexagon is drawn, we are going to enclose all the hexagon inside the rectangle. So here we are using line option and we are enclosing in the form of a rectangle. There are the different types of option which you can explore, like line, rectangle, circle, arc option, ellipse, spline, and so on. Once it is done, measure all the dimensions of this rectangle. Here you can see that edge is 40 mm. Adjacent to edge of 40 mm, here we have 20 mm and 20 mm on top and bottommost sides. Also, the corner to the edge of this rectangle, we have some specified dimension. We are going to measure using smart dimension. Once it is done, then we are going to draw a random line on which we are going to place hexagonal prism, in which both the edges will be at 30 degree. Here we have used line option, draw random line. Then we are going to select any one point on that line and we have drawn two lines with some random angle. Once it is done, we are going to change the angle between the horizontal line and the edge that we are considering, that is the edge of the hexagon. Here we have specified, suppose if it is 35 mm, if you have two sides, maybe either you can give it as 70 mm, or maybe you can use the mathematical operation whenever you are specifying the dimension. Once it is done, the other edge we have 40 plus 20 plus 20, that is 80 mm. Either you can use the same angular line, or maybe you can copy that particular line, select the line, and you can use the copy entity and select the starting point and end point of the line. The same procedure can be done for both the lines, which is inclined at 30 degree. Copy option, and we can go for move entity option. Once it is done, now we are going to use arc option to draw an arc of appropriate dimensions, which we have noted down in the hexagon, that is 20 mm, 20 mm. Once it is done, draw an arc of some random dimension, and if you go down on the left hand side, you can specify what is the arc dimension, arc length. So the same procedure you can do at both the ends. Either you can do it on the opposite side in the similar way, or you select both the arcs together and select the starting point of the arc and the end point of the arc, so that you can move and correspondingly copy the entities. Anyway, on the adjacent edge, there is no need to cut the arc because it is the center point of the line. This is how exactly we are going to draw the arc. We will be using the arc option. So here in this case I am using the arc option once again to showcase how exactly we draw the arc. Center point, draw some random arc and go to the left hand side bottommost position. You specify it as 20 mm. Once it is done, so all the 4 arcs done and the adjacent edge will be at the center portion. So next stage will be we are going to select the dark lines 0.5 mm thickness and we are going to connect all the points together and all the arcs together with the line option. Here we can see 1, 2, 3 edges are done. Fourth edge we are joining 2 arcs and correspondingly fifth edge to the midpoint of the rectangle that we have considered, the edge of the rectangle. Now we can see that all the 6 sides are being done and then correspondingly we are going to identify the center point of this hexagon by drawing a thin line. Once it is done, the next one, hexagonal prism, they have given the axis length as 60 mm. From the center portion we will be using the smart dimension and we are measuring 60 mm. Once it is done, either you do it separately or the best smart option is to copy all the hexagonal edges and just you can copy and correspondingly move entity. Here we are using copy entity, select the starting point and correspondingly we are moving. This is how exactly we use copy entity option to make sure that we use both the faces, that is the bottommost face and the top face of the hexagonal prism. Now you join the corresponding edges, corners to make sure that the isometric view of a hexagonal prism is completely done. So here 3 edges which are visible are marked in dark lines. The second portion is here we are going to complete how exactly the hemisphere will be drawn. In the previous video, suppose if you could remember, we have done the cone portion. Maybe you can go through that video how exactly we go for the base portion. The same procedure is being done in this particular case. Take a horizontal line and 2 reference line of some random dimension. Once it is done, then you can go for smart dimension and measure the hemisphere diameter, that is 30 mm, and correspondingly make sure that it is 30-degree angle with respect to the horizontal reference line. Now we select the copy entity to complete the remaining 2 edges. From the particular corner to the center point of the opposite 2 edges, we are going to draw it in the form of V shape. The same procedure is being done from the bottommost corner to get in the form of V shape. Once it is done, then we are going to draw this arc option. Take the arc radius and correspondingly draw the arc by selecting what is the starting point of the arc and correspondingly what is the end point of arc. So here for the inverted V line we are going to draw the arc and correspondingly to the other V portion we are going to cut the arc. So 2 arcs are done. For the lateral thing, again we are going to identify the center and draw the arc. Again we use arc option, this center point, starting point of the arc and correspondingly end portion of the arc. So again we select the center portion of the arc, starting point and also the end portion of the arc of the right side portion. The next step is to identify the center of this ellipse. Draw a line. Once you move to the center, automatically you can find out an yellow colored highlighted portion which represents the center of this particular ellipse. Select that particular thing and just draw the arc from the starting point and end point to get in the form of hemisphere. Either the hemisphere can be placed in the inverted portion or maybe in the upward portion based on the problem that is being specified. Suppose if it is not given, either you can go for inverted hemisphere or the normal hemisphere. Now it is brought to the front sheet and correspondingly use copy entity or maybe you can go for move entity. Select the center point of the hemisphere and move it to the center of the hexagonal prism. Now we can see here the hemisphere has been moved from a particular point on the sheet to the center of the hexagonal prism. Once it is done, we can bold the lines which are visible, and the unwanted portion we can go for trim entity. There are different types of trim entity. Maybe you can keep on updating your learning process by going through what is power trim, corner trim, and correspondingly trim with closest. Trim with closest and power trim are the one which we generally use. In the case of power trim, you will be getting in the form of line. Just if you are moving the line from one portion to the another portion, automatically all the things will be removed on which the line is traced. Now here we can see also we are using some of the other options called as power trim to remove the unwanted portions. So here the bottommost portion which is used for the reference has been considered. Here we can finally see the isometric view of hemisphere which is placed on hexagonal prism. Thank you very much once again to all the viewers. Once again, I remind you to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell to join our ever growing community. Have a fabulous day. Thank you very much.